Well, hello everybody. It is a video of Umbra rays starring Umbra with now 20% more Umbra rays. And yes, my resources have dropped in game because I tried one more time for the vision card and it didn't work. Sad. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Addison Ray. And for all intents and purposes, I have seen a bunch of comments and nice to see some engagement on a video lately. And yeah, just going to talk about Addison Ray. Honestly, this isn't really too terribly much of a review because I'm just going to let globalers do what I want or do what they want. So overall, my thoughts of Addison, why I don't want her to come to JP. It's not just because I don't want like an Instagrammer, and the fact that she really doesn't have anything to do with Wotv, and this is just a publicity stunt, and you know it's not really going to work. It's not going to bring many people, and probably not many people that will stay in Wotv to Wotv. That's not the real reason why I don't want to see her in like on the JP side. Because honestly, I knew very little about Addison Ray before she came into this whole thing, and I know very little about her afterwards. I'm not an Instagram person, barely a social media person, really. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that, and at the end, I'm gonna get into just a little bit about just me and Wotv. So there you go. This video. The doom of Wotv. No. All right. Okay. I've wasted enough time. Let's talk about Addison Ray. So first off, I do want to highlight the fact that some people have very pointedly pointed out that the VC ability is actually for all Fist users, and to me, that makes this VC really quite good. I mean, it's an 80 cost VC, and it is limited, but you know, it's a very powerful and good like magic VC that I like a lot. I'm not too terribly concerned with Camilo or Elsie on here. Elsie is kind of interesting with her dream enhancement, but overall I'm not too terribly fussed. But I do think that because of that simple fact, this is a powerful ability and a pretty good one to have access to. A little high on the AP cost, but there are ways around that. So yeah, I'm gonna say VC, pretty cool. Next up, Addison Ray as a unit. Now I've heard, basically people have told me this is a free unit and there are ways of obtaining her shards. I've seen that there's like something to do on social media, Twitter or whatever, where the more people that retweet something, the more shards you get of her, whatever. Again, that's more of a global issue, but Performer Blade Soul Red Mage, an accessory that basically grants the Dispel Haste effect on other units, is kind of interesting. There's more, with future JP units, Haste really isn't a thing as much anymore. It's more focused on CT modifications, to the point that there's even been some, tomorrow there's going to be a little bit of a rule change to do with CT, and yeah, I'm not going to comment too much on that yet because I don't really know how it's going to affect the game. But anyway, it's a fine TMR. Looking at her enhancements, you're looking at HP, decreased chance of being targeted, slash attack, and you know, magic for just increasing her stats, increasing her level. All of that's fine. And supports here, I mean, I'm really only going to talk about the two main supports: Positive Outlook and Cosmetic Magi. Both, you know, defensive and offensive, which was kind of the way that she was looking yesterday. So, okay, I mean, there's a fair number of good buffs here that you could potentially run on her and be fine. I'm not happy to see Reflex here, not because it's bad, or because there's, you know, like counter out there. I'm just really tired of seeing Reflex on units, and like units have been trending more and more away from this, and it's kind of made things a little bit more interesting rather than a coin flip whether or not your attack lands. It's a little bit of a complaint I'm going to get into later, but you know, it is still strong and it is a good thing to have access to. And I think it really is her best overall one. Taking a look at her main job here, like I honestly, Red Mage, her jamming thrust, Dispel, that's fine. Blade Soul's got some different stuff in it to do with breaking magical barriers, which is good for her offensive capabilities. Limit Burst inflicting slow. We've talked about that before. I'm not super excited about slow as a status effect, but it is a status effect. Taking a look here, I mean, this is the thing that people were saying to me adamantly. 200 chance to ignore fatal damage when conditions fall below HP. Ignore sure hit for 3 turns for an ally, which people have very notably said that, on Elena or Locke, which, yes, that is a synergy, or potentially, throwing this with multiple units, in the same way Bart's right now is kind of jumping between other elements. This could happen with that too. The rest of her stuff, I mean, physical barrier, not the highest physical barrier, but it is a physical barrier. Breaking magical barriers with 100% hit chance, decreasing spirit. She's overall a pretty fine unit. And that's kind of just my review. Like, as a free 100 cost unit, it's not surprising to see that she might be potentially really good, because we on JP just had Bart show up, and he's been excellent for a free 100 cost character. It seems to be something that the devs are kind of going with, of making free units really good to keep people in the game and playing the game, because more exciting stuff is there. So now I'm basically think that Addison Rae is a perfectly fine unit, and if she's super free and easy to build, well, up to you if you want to or not. That's not... So now I'm going to just break into why I don't want this unit on G. And the big reason is because JP is kind of interesting right now. I say kind of because, if you've been paying attention, there's a lot of great games coming out right now. Zelda, Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, like lots of great games in lots of different categories on lots of different systems. And, there's a lot of things to play. So that's competing for time with Wotv. And it's not only taking away time from me, it's taking away time from other JP players I know, to the point that we're just dropping more people in on our JP team, which is a little sad. And like recently we got Bridal Elia, who's a super accurate character who doesn't rely on sure hit and is a strike unit that's awesome. That's really, really strong. That's exciting. You look at Bart's with his double hit attack that can join with a lot of different characters. That's exciting. That's new. You look at Ferris with her multi-step attacks. That's exciting. When I look at this character, and this is absolutely... you can call it salt, you can call it crying over something. I don't really care. It just doesn't fucking matter to me. This unit feels like it's trying to bring back something that is kind of gone to me, which is light evasion. When I think of the old light evasion meta, I just don't really like it. I was really happy to see Locke disappear. I fully understand that other people like Locke and want him back. And for you, this is great. This is potentially really good news if it works and it's really strong. I, as a content creator, seeing this just... I don't like this. JP right now kind of has a lot of different cool elemental teams. Light physical, dark is kind of a hybrid team. You look at fire, who's still doing the evasion thing right now. You look at, and that's fine to me because it felt unique for at least a little bit, and it hasn't been too oppressive or anything like that. Continuing on, like wind has got glassy back, so it's kind of moving more towards spears again. Ice has like physical or magical based teams, and either ranged or not, and it's kind of cool there. Not super promising. Water has Ferris and Amnilus, and it's kind of hybrid again. And there's a lot of different things, new directions that elements are going, and it feels like a lot of different elements have avenues into teams that are cool. Maybe not necessarily at the highest echelon, but it feels way more elemental varied than it has been for the last few months. And I think back to Light Evasion, where everything was Light Evasion, and it's like it's just not something that I ever want to go back to. And the fact that Wotv might be just circulating back to that is, kind of just a real telling moment to me that my time with this game is coming to a close sooner than later. It's partially, work related. It's partially that Wotv itself, both JP and Global, feels like it's trending downwards as people get more and more just tired with live service and want to go do other and different things. And we're in an absolutely amazing stream of content in the video game world, from mech games, Final Fantasy, to all of this. And it doesn't look like it's necessarily going to slow down anytime. Like Starfield, Armored Core, Spider-Man 2, just off the top of my head, there's so many great games coming out that are not live service that you can play and have fun with and really sink time into. And, things have opened up again, and live services are kind of on the downtrend. Now, also for me, I've kind of been waiting for Ever Crisis for a while, because it is FF7, and it is kind of cool to see a more traditional style of those FF7 graphics, because we already have the remake and everything, and that's cool and super high def, but the more art style-y thing, it feels almost like a PlayStation 1 remake that people kind of wanted. Now, it is gacha and everything like that, but caveats. They're businesses, people, not your friends. So yeah, for me with Wotv, I guess Addison Rae just more than anything kind of bugs me, because from a JP player's perspective, where we're finally starting to see new things with new ideas and everything, and this is just on one hand, Addison Rae might just be better on Light Magical. Okay, all right, that's fine, kind of thing. If she's brings Light Evasion back to being prominent and oppressive, then that's just, I don't know. It's good for some people. I don't like it because it feels like the game is going backwards as opposed to some of the newer ideas that JP has. Again, it's fine if you like Locke. I'm not saying you're bad, and you probably already tuned out, but from my view, it's not exciting and it's not fun, and it's reminding me again and again that Wotv is just kind of getting more tiring, and it's probably getting to the point where I'm going to be done with it sooner than later. It's the end of this era sort of thing. Wotv isn't ending on some big angry moment like it was with FFBE for me with some stuff. Go back and watch those videos if you want to see me really angry. This is just more generally tired and fatigueness of the game, and people are going to say in the comments, well, if you don't like it, take a break, go off, don't come back. That's not it. Generally, as a content creator, there are people who like watching my videos, and I still somewhat enjoy making the videos, even though the content is just getting more tiring. It's a little more complex than just cut and run, or just keep doing it forever sort of thing. There's some points in the middle where I can keep making this content and be totally fine with it, but at the same time, it isn't actually super exciting anymore. So yeah, just short thoughts on Addison Rae's full kit, because since some people seem offended yesterday that I didn't have all the stuff from a live stream I didn't really care about watching, because overall this character hasn't excited me since her announcement, and it's now that I see her kid, it kind of just bugs me. It rubs me the wrong way a little bit more. For those who are happy with it, cool. Thumbs up to you guys. For those of you who like my content, awesome. For those of you who don't like some of my videos, you can go watch anything you want. But yeah, with Wotv, it is getting closer and closer to my departure for something else, and just in general, like the time my era of gacha might finally be over sooner than later, and I might just be playing games that I like, having fun, and you know what? I'm kind of fine with being a small streamer as opposed to trying to make it big, because not necessarily the way I want my life. But there are some people who, you know, on my Twitch and on the YouTube side that I like having around, like chatting with, and hope to continue in the future. But yeah, the kind of a little bit different of a video than you maybe thought that you were going to get. No angry yelling or outrageousness, but it just doesn't require it, because to me, at the end of the day, when I look at just the potential of Locke and the Locke Elena evasion thing starting up again, I don't feel excited. I just kind of feel tired. But no worries, it's a video game, and I will be just fine. And I hope you will too, dear viewer. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time when we talk about the new JP stuff tomorrow. See ya.